A man who's made us smarter. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Penn State legend, Super Bowl champion, in the trenches with AQ Shipley. Hey, baby AQ, can't wait to see you, pal.
Appreciate it, boys. We got a good one.
Oh, no.
It's not working?
No, it is.
No, we're good now?
Too close to the screen?
No, I think it's like there's little dead areas right here, right in front of the,
We good here?
yeah.
Can we hear me?
Yep. Yeah, can't go that way, can't go this way.
I'm staying right here. Hey, so check it out. We got Seattle. What did we say when we got tight splits over here? We got DK Metcalf. What's he doing? Crack toss. Staring at J.J. Watt.
Wide.
Stud on the defensive line, right? This guy's a heady player, smart player. He knows when he's looking at him. Crack toss is coming, right? Crack toss coming?
That's the fear. That's the fear.
Not coming. Let's watch what happens.
What?
Whoa! Look at him. He thought it was, though. You see the little bluff? He thought it was. He's ripping up field trying to beat it underneath. But all this is doing is getting him up the field to sell. And we got the counter that we've seen over and over again on this because it's a great play. Guard flat pulling, going to kick him out. Doesn't even really have to touch him because JJ takes himself out of the play because of the bluff by DK. Then we get my man coming around tight end. He's got Zaven Collins right here. All he's got to do is get in the way. Kenneth Walker getting underneath.
Michigan State.
Wide.
Go
and
great.
Just makes a play out in space. That's right, Fox.
That's
He gets
awesome.
to the end zone.
Wow.
How about these Seahawks, huh?
How about these
Good team.
Seahawks? This is the whole game, though, right here, huh?
That's it. It sets it all up. And I also love this, right? This little thing right here, because now he thinks he's got free access, but starting the back over here as opposed to over here, he has to come get him. He's like, oh, good. And that little bit up the field, now we're underneath. Now we're underneath and out the gate.
And that's all we're looking for is just one wrong step.
That's right.
We're looking for somebody like JJ,
Wide.
like AJ,
Wide.
to take a wrong step, and then we can capitalize with a guy who runs a 4.4, a guy who runs a 4.6, a guy who runs a 5.0 at 360 pounds, pulling and getting him off even more. The run game is really about the details, isn't it?
You say it all the time. We say it all the time. Football's a game of inches, and it matters everywhere. And those inches are also incorporated into the steps regardless. Check it out. I love what we got here. This is a great little setup. The first one was a setup. Why was it a setup? Because we showed the counter. The Jets are going to run the counter, so we think. So we think. They're going against the Packers. Great run game, great play design. We got another LaFleur brother.
Michael.
A little creativity here. Check it out. Let's get this thing going, and we'll pause it whenever I tell you to. But stop it. Look at it. To everything on the defense, they're seeing counter weak, right? He thinks it's counter weak. Guard pulling. The big person to watch right here. Watch the tight end. He starts on the counter. What's he going to do? He's going to put his foot in the ground. Reverse back out. He's now the lead blocker on here. Pause it again right here. The center is supposed to be the one getting out. These dudes do an awesome job. We got Dwayne Brown, 15th year in the NFL. Does an unbelievable job seeing the centers eaten up right here. Once he's eaten up, he knows he has to replace. Now you get 6'4",
Wide.
350 pounds of monster just rolling downfield, getting the lead block for the touchdown.
So the big deal here that we need to be looking for is old Cuzzy's going for a pull. He's going back this way. And this big son bitch right here being back for the Jets is a big deal, you're thinking?
Huge deal. I mean, they were relying on Mekhi Becton, who they put top 10 pick, right? They felt real good about him. He goes out early with an injury. They get Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown goes out early with an injury. They've been waiting for him to come back. He goes on IR, misses the first couple weeks. Now he's back. This dude is a game changer. Has played at a high level for a very long time.
Is there any thought that Matt LaFleur didn't want to scheme for this because he didn't want to lose or beat his younger brother because he doesn't like playing his younger brother and his friends?
I'm sure he lived for every moment of watching this happen.
That's what you think.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
It's actually untrue.
that Matt LaFleur said it would be awkward if he beat him.
Really?
Doesn't
Yeah.
like playing his brother or his friends.
Mike and Bob didn't say that, though. Mike and Bob, who were with the Jets, said on the flight home, how about that little motherfucker that got Aaron Rodgers and had everything sweet? We got to bury him. That's exactly what they're saying, AJ, right?
Yeah, most likely it seems like, huh?
Well, how could you not? I feel like if we're in the NFL, pretty similar human beings. If you beat your brother and your friend, that is better than losing to your brother and your friend, I think, in all walks of life. AQ Shipley.
Always.
100%. Hey, the Jets, they're doing some really good things. They're 4-2. They got a good group up front. This is a lot better team than exactly what Aaron said. There's a couple teams over the last couple of years where you would sit there and you'd be like, it's the Jets. It's the Browns, right? Like, these are teams you know, like, are probably going to screw it. The Lions, right?
Well,
Sorry,
The
Fox.
Giants.
The Giants. This is a different Jets team. Robert Saleh
Vikings.
has got these guys
Commanders.
rolling.
Wide.
Jets and Giants both underdogs this week against the Jags and Broncos.
Wow.
What's that all about?
I mean,
Is it
no
because
one-
narrative betting? Is that why? Because people think that, but the Jags
Take the Jags.
Yeah, makes no sense.
take the Jags.
Take the Jags.
I love this Jags team. Even though they're not winning games, they're right there.
They suck. Whoa. Come on. What are we
He had
talking about?
190 yards rushing in the first quarter against
Yeah,
the Colts.
the Colts suck
Those
too.
two runs though. That was ETN was wide open on one. Nobody was near him. We just saw his fucking ass.
Yeah, it was just wide open. Why was he wide open?
Well, because I think
Because the
everybody-
trenches.
No, I think the offensive line fell.
Yep.
And then the defensive line just said, "Oh, we're playing the fall game."
Yep,
they
they
fell.
fell down.
And then ETN was.
It's gone.
But then on the other way back, old Cuzzy, the backup,
Hasty.
Hasty, he was wide up, big gaping hole.
Yeah.
He hit that thing. He had one of the smoothest celebrations I've ever seen in my life. Full speed, 4-2 probably, rolling 4-2, 4-3, stops a yard into the end zone, puts the ball down, walks away.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody touched him. That was right in our face. As he was running, I was like, stop, stop. And then he stopped.
He did.
1 yard into it, that thing, and then just walked away. So clean. I like that Jags team as well. Happy the Colts got a win.
Their D-back, Cisco, number 5, also a real funny guy.
Oh, yeah. So somebody, I think Matt Ryan,
Ryan.
threw one out of the back of the end zone, hits a photographer. Photographer, not in the greatest shape. You know, he looks like he takes great photos, though. Ball hits him in the side. Corner was running down. Cisco was running to cover it. Turns around. This guy gets hit, like drops his camera, picks up his camera, and Cisco goes, I thought you were going to catch the ball, and then just walks away. Didn't even give him a chance to respond. Just like deadpan
moving.
right in front of him. It was like 4 feet in front of us. Deadpan straight face. I thought you were going to catch the ball, and then just walks away. Big pop out of our big pop. I don't know how the photographer felt. I'm sure he got a good laugh at it afterwards, but I like the Jags team as well, to your statement that isn't about any of the teams that are on in the trenches today. Let's
That's
get
okay.
back to it.
They've been up plenty. Where are we at? What's the next one?
Ravens.
Oh, I love it. We got the Ravens. Okay, so this is interesting to me, right? We have a tight end and we have a fullback in the game. That typically, AJ, right? Base defense. That's typically going to bring base defense.
Yep. Usually.
They're in nickel. I thought this was interesting. So Wink Martindale stays in nickel defense. You got basically an over with the Will on the ball. You got him as the Mike. You got him as the Sam. Still gap sound. Everybody's got a gap. He's got this gap. He's got that gap. So they're still gap sound. This is basically a power, but they do a nice job of exchanging responsibilities between Patrick Ricard and Mark Andrews. Both dogs in the run game, right? But the key is this guy. This is basically a guard in the backfield. He's 305 pounds playing fullback but can run, right? So they exchange responsibilities. You're going to get a nice double team here. You're going to basically get a double team here. We're going to book him on the backside, create a wall right here, double team. Andrews does a phenomenal job getting up to the mic, sticking and staying connected. Ricard, who you typically wouldn't put a fullback on a defensive end on a power play, right? But they do a nice job just kind of knowing that he's so big and strong, he can get the seal block here, and then you get a pulling guard, Powers, pulling around with some power on the nickel sitting in the hole as the Sam linebacker. Let's check this thing out.
Oh, look how
You see it happening, right? Sticking his, oh boy.
Pay dirt.
and that's how a wide receiver ends up rushing one in against Wink Martindale's defense. Kenyon Drake might be a new position like Cordell Patterson, but you're saying this particular scheme against this exact setup from the Giants is perfect.
Well, this is what you got to love, right? And this is what you love about what the Ravens are doing. You turn on the film last week, they're doing something completely different every week. Greg Roman is designing an unbelievable run scheme. 1 week, they're pulling both guard tackles, sending him through this way. They didn't run that at all this week. And now they get something different. So that's the beauty about game planning, and that's the beauty about what this Ravens run game is able to do. Now, granted, they got to start winning games in the fourth quarter, but what they're doing in the run game is awesome because they're taking plays and they're exchanging responsibilities. They're mixing things up. They're getting creative, and they're allowing things and taking advantage of matchups. Guard on a nickel.
Do you think this guy is in here because this guy exists?
No, I think it's more they have to get a 7 box, basically, because you have this. That's their way of getting to base defense with nickel personnel.
Can Thibodeau play this differently, or to Pat's point, does
It's
he have
so
to
hard
stay there
because of that.
Lamar? Yeah.
It's so hard because of that. And that's what this element gives you, right?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, him, Kyler Murray, right? These
Zip down
guys
the
always
ball.
have to be slow to go on the backside because of that added element, because he's the contained player on that backside.
How many guys are like Ricard? Is he's kind of like a one of one,
He's a
isn't
one
he?
of one.
Former D lineman, right?
I think he's still I don't know if he still does, but I know whenever we played them, when I was still playing for the Cardinals in 2019, he was in the rotation playing both ways. Like he was getting some D-line reps as well as fullback.
Pretty cool little thing.
Yeah, is
they're
that part of the
sweet.
Thunderdome? The little logo there?
He's so athletic too.
Nimble.
How big's his head, AJ? This guy got a big fucking head, you think?
Gigantic head. Are you kidding me? Like, it's not fair what this guy can do. He can move so well. You said nimble. It's true, man, with how big he is. It's impressive.
Hey, let's also take notice of what my man's doing right here. Duvernay?
Yes.
That's what we say,
Devin
right?
Duvernay.
Yes.
Devin Duvernay, all-pro kick returner, I think, right? Getting much more action at receiver. And look, he's the home run block. That's what we always talk about. Receivers make the thing go. He bluffs right there, realizes that's not his guy. Now he gets to him. And just that little hand, just getting in the way.
Hold my hand.
Hold my hand, Devin.
Hold my hand. Watch this guy run right by both of us. That's fucking good shit. So the Ravens are going to be good, we think.
Yeah, I mean, they'll figure it out. They got great coaching staff. They got a great offense. They just got to.
Why won't they pay Lamar?
I think his price tag just keeps going up, right?
Yeah, but will they ever pay him?
I don't know.
Do you think there's a chance? Because I don't think you've heard this theory from me yet.
Okay.
And I have a lot of theories. The aliens have been here a long time.
Sure.
Okay, we're just now starting to experience it. I'm excited to learn who and what and how. And I don't think we should necessarily just go for killing them. I think we should maybe try to communicate with them to see if we can talk. And then if they just start sucking heads off people, like then we should try to
Take
kill
them
them.
out.
When fired upon.
Exactly. But let's try to shake their Huns first.
Right.
Absolutely.
If they have Huns, and if we call them Huns and they're not Huns, we mean no disrespect.
Exactly.
Somebody needs to tell them that as well.
Yeah. Watch Mighty Ducks.
Let's shake their appendages.
Bingo. Imagine if we meet one. Never mind. Anyways, I have a theory that since Lamar's not gotten paid yet, and Ed Reed went on with
Clark.
Kevin Clark.
Yep.
I thought it was Shine. Kevin Clark. I apologize to disrespect there, Kev. Big Kev. Anyways, so he went on with him, and he talked about how he experienced a similar thing with Baltimore. He said, this is a business. Lamar needs to start viewing it as a business. They're viewing it as a business. And he said he changed the way he played until he was able to get his deal done because it's a business and you have to do that. And he said if he was advising Lamar, which he's not, he would say, hey, you got to change the way you play until you get paid because that's what this is. This is a business. This is hopefully setting you up for the rest of your life, which is what it should be. Do you think there's a chance, and I don't know Lamar, I'm a massive fan. They say he does everything right. He's a great teammate. He's beloved by everybody. He has effects on games that even when he doesn't have the ball, the other team is fucked because they have to just account for him. Even this fucking guy, if we were probably to look at it, he probably has his eyes on fucking Lamar too, which gives another extra second, which opens everything up, let alone the fact that this guy has to watch Lamar, and it gives an opportunity for everybody else to take advantage. That's why they say 11 on 11, because Lamar's accounting for somebody even when he doesn't have the ball. So I don't know. This is not a knock on Lamar. There's a couple runs where he ran out of bounds. Smart.
Business decision.
When if they would just pay that fucking guy, he's
sticks his
potentially
nose.
cutting that up, right? And
Remember
I don't
the
know
run
how, like, I don't think he's purposely doing that, but I think, like, in his brain, he's like, all right, I got to fucking watch myself here naturally. If they pay him, maybe these games that they're losing at the end, he's picking up 20, 30, and it's in field goal range now, and they're maybe down 3, or they're able to remain up 3. I think that's a real thing that has not been accounted for or talked about. Everybody's just saying, well, they haven't got to a number they agree upon. It's like, the number is what Lamar says, like, hey, this is going to get a deal done, because I think there's a chance that there's some lingering effects happening subconsciously by Lamar who's trying to protect himself before he gets paid. Do you think that could be real or no?
100%. Yeah, I mean, you look back, what was the big run against Cincinnati a couple years ago?
Spin. Yep.
The spin up through the gut, and he's gone, right? You're not going to see that. I mean, he's not going to stick his nose in there and risk that collision against anybody.
Maybe he will.
Maybe he will.
Maybe
You're
he
right.
will. But we're saying, like, you could see how he could be like,
100%.
Yeah.
nah, I'm not going to do that. And I think that's a bad thing to have going into a season. I think it was bad business what Baltimore did, AJ. I think it was bad business, bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think they may be realizing that. I don't know, but also what Lamar gives you here, like you don't have to block their most dynamic player on defense probably here because he has to account for Lamar. So it's like, all right, we don't have to have one of our linemen or somebody else block this guy.
God.
One of one.
Hey, come with Colts.
Well,
Something to think about.
After Matt Ryan obviously wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. You know that. All right, let's move on.
Let's
Here's
go.
a team that's all the way back, huh?
Yes.
Whoa.
Got you in.
call.
I got you in this week. Hey, so check it out, and this is what needs to happen.
Yeah, you guys need more credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn
Yeah,
right.
thank you, AQ, for
Full
finally
strength.
showing the New England Patriots some credit.
About time.
Jeez Louise.
So let's bring. This is a huge point, right? It's 3rd and 10.
Okay.
3rd and 10. What are they in on defense? We call it double barrel. I don't know what you guys called it on defense, AJ. Double A, double barrel, whatever
Exotic.
it is.
Yeah.
So they're in an exotic-looking pressure to get after the quarterback.
An amoeba.
Yep. Maybe front.
There you go. This guy hanging around gives you the illusion they could be running some form of a trio, sending him up the middle, sending him through, sending him, bring him, bring him. You could get anything in terms of blitz right now. But check what they're going to do. They call it, this is a coffee house. They're going to make it look like he's dropping, slant this 3-tech, bring him through, and bring him through. So you get 2 guys on his backside. David Andrews does a phenomenal job. Once this is an inside zone that they're going to, it's a simple inside zone. They're literally just trying to hopefully steal 10, and this thing ends up going the distance. But here's what happens. They're completely content, probably just kicking a field goal here. But they do a great job of just picking this up. And this is another point that needs to be brought up, right? So when you look at a play that's drawn up, everybody's standing still. It's real easy to block something when it stands still. But when people are moving, you get the slant here. You get him over the top. You get him over the top. You get him down. You get them. It's a billion different things. The other key is watch Hunter Henry going backside. He's supposed to block him, but he sees color here. This guy gets on the inside shoulder here. Probably could make the play. Does a phenomenal job sealing this thing off. But watch David Andrews to start, and then watch Hunter Henry go back and kind of seal this thing off. So these two, watch this. He's going to snap him over, and it just creates the hole. This guy's gone. He's already passed him. Can't make the play. Hunter Henry did just enough to seal that on the backside,
L2.
and we're out the gate.
Nice little jump cut. Like
Yeah,
2
he's
of
a
them.
dog.
But right there, you got to love that hole on 3rd and 10, right? I mean, like you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I'm feeling great. We just get him one-on-one with the safety. This guy has no idea where to fit. He's coming hard outside in, and he makes a phenomenal jump cut. Whoop, boom,
Boom.
and he's out the distance.
See ya.
Whoop! 3rd and 10 running.
3rd and 10, take it to the house. I mean, that is
OC's kind of a
demoralizing.
genius, I'd say.
There's a lot of coordinators.
Who's the OC?
Who is the OC?
Who is Yossi?
Oh, we don't have an OC. Who's
don't
calling
know.
plays?
Who is calling plays?
Oh, Matt Patricia. Guess he's not a big fat dumb dipshit like you guys have been saying.
Well,
We'll see.
bad head coach, that's for sure.
Looks like he's a genius.
Hunter Henry, though,
See, look at this. Like he can make this play if he does his job on paper, which is go around him and seal there. He sees color, and all he does is just kind of seal and get in the way. Boom, there it is.
People, Pat, I think you were just about to say, people have been killing him in New England because there hasn't been much production in the pass game. But Belichick yesterday went on, I forget what radio show in Mass, but he basically just gave Hunter Henry all the praise for becoming a much better run blocker and contributing to the team way more in that sense than he is in the pass game like last year. And obviously AQ's showing us. Look at those.
Pat's doing big things.
Beware of
Goddamn
dog.
right. Beware of Cole freaking Strange. More like it.
You've been wanting to see him? You saw him.
Dog.
man, that's awesome. So they're good. What about this team really playing well with Cooper Cush behind the helm?
There's a lot of stuff going on here in a very simplistic scheme. I talked about this week one of my favorite schemes. It's your standard duo scheme. Duo, why? Because you get 2 double teams. You're going to get a double team tackle guard, deucing to Kazir White here. Then you're going to get a center guard, scooping to 57 here. It's a simple scheme. And you're getting Zeke literally just downhill. Here's what makes this different, right? You start here. You get 22. Watch this. Let this thing run a little bit. He's got to run with him whenever you get the jet motion here. So let this thing run and stop it right there. Stop. So now he runs with him. Now this vacates the gap. Now you bring a corner in as the force player right here. So what are we going to do? We're going to bring a receiver back from the other side to handle the force. Now watch this shit show that happens. He's going to come and block him. But check this out. My man's got to run with him because he's got him. So when he runs across like this, he takes himself completely out of the play because his whole focus is getting with him. And look at that hole.
Wow.
Look at that hole.
Wow.
My man Zeke's in year 20 or whatever he's in at this point. Certainly not running the 4.4 that he was running before, but my man's still going to find a way to get in the end zone from 10 yards out with that hole.
Wow, that's a good scheme. That's a good scheme. Who's running the run game down there in Dallas?
It's a great question.
Is that tight end
Great
split
question. I
out?
mean, most O-line coaches are handling the thing. Obviously, Kellen Moore is the one calling the plays. But this is a phenomenal job of getting
It's a good question, Con.
What was that?
AQ, that tight end has kind of like a big split there. Is that for a reason to try to widen that end here?
I'm sure, right? Like he's still attached, so it's not going to do too much to him. Obviously, it widens him just a little bit, but really all it is just to kind of run the play, right, and just kind of keep that.
Make
keep
him
that
run the
width.
hoop, basically,
Exactly.
go around the top.
Ooh, look at that. Whoa.
Wow.
Is that 5 yards, you think?
I believe.
That's what it says. Monitor doesn't lie.
Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you. I didn't
That's what-
code it, but Jesus, look at that fucking.
Hatsy.
I mean, how
That
good is
does
it? How
suck
big
for
is that
that,
hole?
that DB, AQ, you're right. When your man's running behind the line of scrimmage and they're like, people could say, oh, have some awareness. He handed the ball off. Well, no, because if he fakes that and that guy shoots to the flat, it's an easy touchdown. Nobody touches him. So, like, you have to kind of acknowledge that that's your coverage.
100%, because just like you just brought up, AJ, right? He's got him in coverage. So what's the next play off of this? You fake the duo, and you got him
Flat.
coming out the backside on the play action.
Touchdown.
They schemed that on purpose, knowing that the guy's going to have to do that. You think? Can we give credit to the person that designed this, knowing that was going to happen?
100%. Let's go back to the beginning, too, because I also want to bring this up. The other thing that I love is by him starting over here, right? You have this. You have two force players. You have Epps, and then you also have Slay, right? So you basically have an unaccounted for guy. And that's what teams typically do. They'll start, whether it's him out here, they'll motion him in. They call that whatever. So let's say he's the Z. They'll call that Z fine.
Oh,
His
can we
job-
do Z, Y, X, W? What are they?
Yeah, based on wherever the receivers are, typically the outside receiver is always going to be the Z. And then you have the Y, who's the tight end, and whoever the X is usually the inside receiver. So
X is a slot.
usually, yeah.
Z is all,
But
or
different
Y is by
for-
himself.
Different things have different formations. You might be different. So usually the one that stays the same is the Z. He's usually the outside guy, and then the other ones are all interchangeable.
Okay, good.
But so typically you'll bring this guy in, and then they call it find, right? So he's finding the safety. But what that does is that keeps two people over here as force players. By sending him across, you lose that force, and then you bring him back across from the other side. So now you keep it a balanced game, and you're still 1 for 1 as opposed for 1 and then having an extra force player.
If they were in zone, would that change it? Because then the guy's not following them.
100%, because now they're just going to bump. They would just bump. So he would just basically bump, and then now Slay would be in here, and you basically have an 8-man front. But you know that going into it. The whole reason they did this is knowing, hey, we get in the red zone, he's going to run with them.
Yeah, they play man.
100%.
Great play, you're saying, from the Dallas Cowboys. And that's the shit they weren't doing when Dak Prescott was a quarterback. Yeah. They're doing this with fucking Cooper Kush because they don't rely on Dak's arm as much. You start adding that element in there with Dak, Cowboys could be
Problem.
Cowboys could be getting, not that the Eagles, like obviously the Eagles defense, we got a lot of, they're fucking undefeated. We love them. But with that type of scheme happening, I don't know if we would have seen that years back when it was just the Dak show, right? AQ, everything's set up for the pass as opposed to set up
'cause,
for the run.
I mean, you're paying him the money, right? He's going to throw the ball, so you're going to design it around the pass. But when you try and protect a backup guy like this, now the run game shines. Now, if they incorporate this when Dak comes back and not put all the pressure on Dak, now we got a team. Now we got a team, Dallas.
Now we got an offense.
We got an
Their
offense.
defense.
Go. Well, and their defense has got to deal with some problems.
Yeah, this one's pretty good right here.
It's big bumps.
We got big bumps. This one's pretty good. I really like this.
I like big bumps.
You
I
can't
don't know if you'll see this in the film,
These
but
other
Jason
bumps
Kelsey's
can't
going to
deny.
point to Micah Parsons. So it's basically a 4 down to Micah Parsons. That's the 5 guys the O-line's meant to handle. The minute he doesn't come and the minute that he loops out, Landon Dickerson's going to buy him as his block. My man, Jason Kelsey, in year 13, 14, whatever he's in, highest paid center in the NFL, fucking dog, right?
Dog.
Watch him. His responsibility goes here to here. He loops here, becomes Landon Dickerson's. Micah doesn't come. My man's a free helper. When you're a free helper, your head's on a swivel. And what are we looking for? Ribs. We're looking for ribs.
Bad guys.
We get a TE on the other side. He's a free helper. Parsons doesn't come. Watch his head start going on a swivel here if you watch this. Boom, 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 right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, target locked.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Let this thing roll. This is going to be good.
Oh,
Did you see him afterwards do a little like jump and then just kind of walk it
Yeah,
off?
should have thrown it to him.
Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable.
Boom!
Oh, a little skip out of it and then just walk it off.
AQ, that'll slow them down too. The rest of the game too when they're losing too. Like they know, they'll be aware of that.
100%. That's the second one. Kelsey got Lawrence twice in this game. He got one in the first half. This is in the third quarter. So I promise you, this slowed him down. And when they play him again later in the year, because oh my God, how good is that?
Hey, I mean, if we're talking about heads-up football,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a safety hitting a wide receiver right there, this shot. And that's how athletic Kelsey is, right? He's what, 270 pounds?
If that. I mean, he might be playing at 65 at this point in his career.
Right.
But
Nothing Lawrence could do.
nothing. I mean, it is.
Sorry
that
about
is
it, Lawrence.
textbook.
Sorry.
Sorry about it.
That is textbook. You can't ask for anything more, man. That is awesome stuff.
Sorry about it.
Oh, I gotta love this. I gotta love this. Terrence Steele, right tackle, Texas. This guy's a freaking dog in the run game. He's awesome. Check what we're gonna do here. We get the crack toss. Now, we're not gonna watch this block. My man Gallup needs a little work. He's got Hassan Reddick here. Not the best matchup, but here's what we're gonna watch. Watch Terrence Steele. He's got Avonte Maddox.
Uh-oh.
Watch him just eject. Let this thing run in full speed first.
Oh boy.
Oh God! And then he hops on him.
Whoa.
I love how he hops on him. I love that.
Well,
Yeah.
well, is that
Thought that was illegal.
legal?
Boom. He just finished in the block.
Can't do that. I mean,
What
that's
is that?
why is he illegal? Why is he got to do something illegal? I thought we had a big bump.
Yeah, go block
That
someone
is
else.
a big bump. That is a big bump.
Never good.
Hey, can we pause that while he's in midair?
Never good right there.
Can we zoom in on that with your little circle there? There we go.
Yeah.
Let's watch it. Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Not a good position to be in, boys.
Boom. And he jumps and rolls over top of you too.
Hey, keep that out of the game, AQ. What's that all about? What's that all about? What are we, a bunch of barbarians running around on the field?
This is the game we fell in love with. This is what we love to see. That boy Terrence, keep that shit up. Let's go.
What an incredible episode of In the Trenches.
AQ. Yeah, boys.
AQ, hell of a day by you today. You asked a question to Aaron. You weren't nervous. Like last week, you were sitting here. You got to, you know, he was a little bit twiddling his thumbs.
Fell asleep during Eli.
Had an incredible In the Trenches here. Feels like we learned stuff. AQ, what a day.
AQ.
You made a couple putts early to raise some money for folks. 10
Unreal.
people will win $500. You retweet the tweet that was sent out earlier. Say something nice to somebody and put your cash tag in there. You could win $500. We'll continue to do that every single day. AQ, we appreciate you.